Hi, I'm Andy with Eco Chow, and here we are with batch number 36 of the Eco Chow Tea Club. And this month's batch is a Fo Shou Oolong. Fo Shou translates as Buddha hand, and it's a large leaf type of tea in the category of Assam and red Jade number 18 and the wild tea strain that naturally occurs here in Taiwan. Fo Shou is a traditional oolong tea made in mainland China and is very rarely found in Taiwan. There's very few people cultivating this tea strain. This batch of tea, the crop of tea is from Pingling in northern Taiwan, the home of Baozhong Oolong, but also where teas tend to be cultivated in a more boutique fashion. Farmers are making an effort to maintain their deep tradition and keep these lesser grown strains alive and available to us, which is a very cool thing and something that we're quite grateful for. Our friend and source of Taiwanese in Muzha, Taipei, sourced the raw produce from his farmer friend in Pingling and processed the leaves himself in the fashion of Taiwanese. Basically, he said there are variations that accommodate the type of leaf. Given that Fo Shou is a large leaf type as opposed to small leaf type, which is mostly used for producing modern oolongs, the most prevalent small leaf type is Qingxin oolong, but also includes Jinxuan, Four Seasons Spring, Cui Yu, Taiwanese, all the types of plants that are used to produce oolong teas here in Taiwan. This month is in celebration of our 3rd year anniversary of the Eco Chow Tea Club. We've been providing batches of tea on a monthly basis that we find special in one way or another and probably unable to be found on the market due to their singular batch nature. Either they're a strain of tea like this, which is very rare in Taiwan, or the processing method is special or even unique in some way, depending on that given batch and what all the contributing factors that make it. Sometimes it's bug-bitten tea, sometimes it's an example of a given competition's award-winning tea, so that we can share what the tea culture in Taiwan is all about, really, on a local scale. So we're quite happy. It's the very first time we've sourced and are sharing a batch of Fo Shou. And well, personally, I really like it, and that's one of the more fundamental reasons why we're sharing it. But the fact that it is very hard to come by in Taiwan unless you're a local in northern Taiwan and willing to pay higher prices for these boutique batches of tea. And we very much admire our friend who makes our Taiwanese because he puts a lot of effort and energy into producing batches of tea that he finds meaningful and that he feels represents the local tea culture that he inherited and now embodies. It is a bold character of tea, so I'm brewing in a pot that's about 135 milliliters volume, and I just measured out 6 grams of tea. So relative to the more modern style small leaf oolongs, I recommend using less leaves per volume to not overpower the more subtle notes in the tea, the more aromatic notes. Let's have a sip. Wet stone with confectionate sugar and some sort of fruity, stewed fruit compote kind of flavor on the palate. Exhaling through the nose is the highlight, I would say, of the character of this tea. It has a touch of smokiness in it. This tea is from Spring Harvest 2018. It's very clean. It's not a muddled flavor at all. It's not It's not on its way to black tea. It's very distinctly oolong. The color and the transparency of it, it's like a deep orange, similar to a nicely made dongding, perhaps. Even lighter than a Tea Guanyin, I'd say. He may have roasted it slightly less than Tea Guanyin. The character that I get from it is less roasted and more of an aged, oxidized flavor. I'm going to pour that off so that I can get the next brew on its own. Again, distinct mineral notes, but cleansing on the palate, and enough bitter astringency to make it a proper traditional oolong, that kind of mainland strong character of traditionally made oolong from mainland, but clean and refreshing and not overpowering. People refer to stone fruit flavor, that kind of apricot stone flavor. It has that kind of nutty, apricot-y, something grainy, combined with that literal stone flavor, the mineral factor in there. A tea like this, to me, it's almost mystifying. I don't want to get too new agey about anything, but it's hard to determine why I like this flavor. You know, it's one of those things. It's like a kind of quirky but high quality Scotch, where you're just like, this tastes like nothing else I've ever tasted, but it's very interesting and it's undeniably satisfying. And that's what I get from this batch of tea, which is the crux of it, isn't it? Isn't it why we're all geeky tea heads and looking for things that just intrigue us and perplex us? That's a deeper level of the fun of having tea as a hobby and a passion and a profession, if indeed that's the case. So here we are at the culmination of 3 full years of the Eco Cha Tea Club. We're not stopping here. We will continue to share batches of tea that impress us and intrigue us and inspire us to share them with you. We'd love to hear what you think about this Fo Shou Oolong that we're sharing for the first time. And please share your experience in the comments of our blog posts. Post your photos and videos. Put them on Instagram, do whatever you are inspired to do. We want to let people know what you think about this club and what your experience of it is, and not only the club, but each batch of tea that we send to you. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you for another few years at least. P.S. By the way, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our newsletter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share the posts that you see that you find meaningful and worth sharing. Let other people know that you're here with us doing what we do. Thanks again. See you next month.